Yeah, I want to apologize for the uh, unexpected way that 2018 psychic predictions ended. I have this old camcorder or recorder, and I keep buying new ones. Uh, I'm rusty in the technology department, so I have two, three other video camcorders, recorders, and each one of them has some issue. I bought another computer and I'm working to get the best one rolling again. Solve the audio and all that. So as far as the 2018 psychic predictions, I got as far as end of Israel predictions. So I did USA, Israel, and now in this video, hopefully, will last long enough. I could do Saudi Arabia and other Muslim countries, the Sunnis, and then after Saudi Arabia is Turkey and other states like Gulf states, and then we're gonna go talk about Iran, India, China, and the clear winner of all these conflicts, Russia and the European Union and or the Europeans, and then a little discussion about Africa and Central Asians. So so you can only talk about bad news about that so or bad guys so much before you get really sick of it. But I cannot not talk about Saudi Arabia because they have been doing a lot of stuff in the world, and they really tarnish the image of Muslims all around the world. Well, I was asking God, why you don't punish these people, completely destroy them. But God has His own ways, and if he before He destroys a nation, he totally discredits them. And besides this criminal Wahhabi gang that rules Saudi Arabia, there's all these other states like Turkey, Egypt too, and like Gulf states, and there are some like Malaysia, and they all got these despots. Like Iraq had Saddam Hussein, and they're all empathizing with these jerks, and I think God is trying to show them how it will work out. So if they really like this medicine, if you could have some more. I guess recently, well, the in Egypt, the Sisi was chummy with the Wahhabis and even sold an island to them or gave them an island, and then the recently Wahhabis went in and killed all these Sufis, and then the Egyptian government had an about face, and they bombed some of the compounds of the ISIS, and then they invited Putin to come in. I think that many Muslim countries are secretly signing up with the Russians to get air coverage, anti-aircraft, and to get rid of the Wahhabis and the Americans, because these guys they're just going around and killing civilians. Uh, I suspect that the government of Iraq, Egypt, Libya, Afghanistan, even Pakistan government secretly in cahoot with the Russians. I'm not so sure about the Pakistan, but I hear some stuff that is kind of signals that they're going back to the Russians. The government of India, they, I think militarily they are in cahoot or in cooperation with Iran and Russia. Uh, then we already know about Chinese. Uh, well, Libya is kind of tiptoeing into Africa. I don't know other Somalia or what's going on there. I think Russia is the clear winner. Many governments, even despots that used to be in cahoots with the Wahhabis, are now signing up with the Russian government. It's because the Russians, they don't have interest anymore in making an empire, and they are helping different countries. I guess Erdogan had a bald face and signed up with the Russians too. I think that Erdogan got so much karma, all the stupid stuff he did, and all these people got killed, and he just went back again to the same. I wonder if his karma will catch up with him, and the Turks give him that very hard kick in the butt. But going back to Saudi Arabia, I think that I've talked to some Saudis, and many of them, they wish that this massive oil income will stop, because what it's doing is the Saudi family, the Al Saud, they sign up or they cooperate with all the U.S. corporations or Western corporations, and they make it look like they are the ultimate latest product in the political arena. They're just a bunch of killers, but they they have kept Saudi Arabia in a very medieval kind of environment. Uh, the religion of Islam itself encourages democratic practices. Uh, Prophet Muhammad himself said, "Mushawarahum fil amr," consult each other in affairs. It did not prescribe these monarchies. In fact, when the religion of Islam came, many Arabs disdained from monarchy. They had a council in Mecca of many different tribes. It wasn't a monarch. It was like more like a oligarchy of chieftains. It was more democratic than what we have had in the recent times. Well, the Al Saud have the same problem that many despots have, that they just want to own the whole world, and they wreck themselves in the process. I mean, I don't know. Hitler didn't really have a lot of reasons to invade Russia. I mean, he had already captured many European countries, or the most important. By trying to control all of Europe, he exposed Nazi Germany to all these losses. Most of his military got wiped out in the Russian front. So I don't know. It's just a kind of megalomania that large organizations, they become afflicted with it, and now United States has the same problem. They want to go to war with Russia, and that's really bad. That's really bad proposition. Russia is militarily is the best military, is a huge part of the world, and their military and their people have experience fighting empires. They have beaten Nazis. I don't know. It's a kind of madness. I just think that it signals the end of some kind of despotism. Uh, then in the recent times, the Al Saud family, or the Salman ibn Muhammad, destroyed or wrecked United States what they call those oil new oil production through the new technologies and slash the price of oil to $50 or $40, then that wrecked many upstart oil producing companies, and then wrecked the fracking industry. Many of them closed, and many of the companies they lost money through their bonds. And now you see in the pumps, the price of gasoline is roughly same that it was when the gas was $100, because they're afraid to let it slide down, and the consumers they don't seem to even care. I mean the price is like $3 a gallon, so it was roughly the same, 3.20 or 3.30. So really it didn't affect the people at the pump, and but the producers and the refineries they're scared as hell, and some countries like Russia and Venezuela lost huge sums of money, and it was just very retarded thing. And I think the Saudis have done this before, suddenly crash the price of oil, and many countries they lose foreign currencies, just total retarded. That's not the only thing that they do that totally sucks. Well, I was talking to this Wahhabi guy, and he didn't even know that Prince bin Dar is dead. And I told him, hey, he went in his last trip. He went and threatened Putin. I guess they caught up with him in Syria. He got severely injured and was transferred to Saudi Arabia, but they hide that information. And then we don't know, Bin Dar was responsible for 9/11, or this is just totally retarded. I don't understand how Bush family put up with it, and they're themselves a very criminal family. It's just beyond me. I guess the Obama came out and they published the reports about 9/11, but redacted 28 pages of it too. This family is deeply involved in terrorist financing and killing Shia and killing Americans and Europeans, and ISIS was everywhere, but now the local governments they have gotten a hold of them. In the last year, the Khalifa, confiscated all these princesses' money, and there is no freedom of speech, or there is no freedom of information inside Saudi Arabia. They're all playing this game of throne, just like the Americans. They're infighting. They're fighting with each other to who gets control. So my projection for the future, I didn't have a psychic vision of this. I'm just projecting, but there is on the Islamic literature, there's predictions of Prophet Muhammad for end times, and I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna continue with this game of throne, and these princes that have lost their property or their stocks or monies, they're gonna find a way to knock out Salman ibn Muhammad, and then the Game of Thrones resume again. Just like the French Revolution, there will come a time when it's like a reign of terror. Almost every major prince is gonna get knocked out. Okay, so suddenly one person either from Al Saud or outside of family will rise to power like Napoleon did, and will end the reign of terror. Like the Game of Thrones will continue and will become more vicious. Okay, so this is there is a verse in Quran. It says, "God punishes you at each other's hand." Or before that, it said, "God punishes criminals," but then it said, "He punishes criminals at each other's hand." Okay, so that's what I think is going to happen to Saudis, and also um, their foreign adversaries like the Iraqi Shia or Yemenis, and they now have a lot more experience and better weapons and more confidence to that we can end this charade. So they have been losing to the Yemenis, and they've been attacking them deep inside Saudi Arabia. I don't know. There is a prophecy by Prophet Muhammad that someone from my own family will come to own the world, or this is the end time prophecy of Prophet Muhammad. Yemenis are Shia. They're more closely related genetically to Hashemi, the original tribe where Prophet Muhammad came from. Uh, I don't know. My studies in genealogy is not very good. In Islamic countries, they call these people Sayyid, which means like they're the direct descendants. I don't know if the Yemeni Houthis, their leadership is Sayyid or not. I don't know. It's foggy, but that's all I want to talk about this criminal gang, Wahhabis. I also want to add that I don't think Wahhabis are Muslim. It's the bid'ah, is a new creation. The religion of Islam does not prescribe these things. You only have to have practiced this religion to know this is alien way of thinking. Anyhow, I want to move on. This group of individuals, it's just really sad what they did in Egypt. All these people they were worshiping, they got killed. I don't know how to even react to it. Then I think that they have acquired a reputation, and other countries are kind of walking away from this sect or these Wahhabis. And there is a lot of Muslim countries, Egypt, Palestine, Pakistan, Malaysia, Indonesians. It's kind of make you start thinking, hey, is this really what my religion is? Maybe I need to reevaluate. I think that's what God has plans for Muslims, to be able to reevaluate some of these practices the Sunnis have going. In all of this conflicts, Russia is a clear winner, and also Russia and China are going around the world and making infrastructure investments and infrastructure buildings and roads and trains everywhere. Africa, all of Central Asia, all the way from China all the way to Europe, and that's just beautiful. If you are someone who is in a third world country in Africa and in like Central Asia, and somebody came around and made investments, made power plants, made roads, made train lines, did business with you, was convenient, didn't want to overthrow your government. They just want to do a little business, a commerce, and Wouldn't you like them? I would. I think also recently Iranian government uh, joined the I think it was the Shanghai Cooperation, and many Asian countries are joining in to they're benefiting from free trade with each other. Also, they're all using yuan now, and they have gotten rid of dollar. That's also a new development. So I think that the growth, economic growth, will be very fast in Central Asia, in Africa, in China, in Russia, in places like Syria, because they have gotten rid of troublemakers, and they are investing in their own country, in the infrastructure, in business. Uh, the other trend that I see is that many countries are cooperating with each other despite any kind of disagreement that there may have been in the past, or their culture might be different. For example, I was hearing that Mr. Hassan Rouhani, the president of Iran, he was congratulating the India for coming in and making a port in Chabahar. So the Indians are doing business with Iran, and their ships coming to Chabahar near Oman Sea, and then from there they take Iranian road and go all the way up to Afghanistan and do business with Afghanistan too. So it's like they're bypassing troublemakers that in Pakistan. So I don't know. Pakistan itself seems to be having second thoughts about Wahhabis, and they also one of their generals was saying that they will knock out all the U.S. drones. They don't want them anymore. Uh, so I think the future for U.S. bases and drones and all these adventures, they're gonna find the world very inhospitable and hostile place uh, if their ventures don't fail in other places. So all the drama and all the people that got killed, it was for nothing. All the money that United States wasted in Middle East, it was for nothing. The local governments, they have a huge control over everything, and they're cooperating with each other, and their economy is growing. And I don't know what was the point of all of that if the Americans, the stupid Americans, spend that money on themselves. Okay, so we don't have all these problems here. Uh, then another development that I think is really beautiful is many countries like Venezuela. I don't know about Iran, but I think Africans are using cryptocurrencies, and this helps them. It's like to represent their own property or products or commodities and sell them a lot easier without using the US dollar. It's kind of like taking the shackles off of international business. You know, you just make your own cryptocurrency, and you sell your own oil or natural resources, and you make this cryptocurrency available in the world. You know, anybody can buy it. They can use anything they want. They can use Swiss franc or US dollar or Bitcoin, anything. So you're free from interference of U.S. Federal Reserve and all the stupid things they do and all the little dirty tricks they play. I think that will free the world to do business with each other, and will positively impact their growth. Okay, so that's one. Another trend is smart contracts. I think this trend is gonna. I'm seeing a lot of apps and a lot of new coins that are based on smart contracts or Ethereum. That's beautiful. I'm going to be buying some of these coins myself. I have some money coming in, I'm gonna buy some new issues. I'm not buying Bitcoin because it's too expensive for me. I should have bought it before, but I had problems. Uh, but now that I have a little bit of money, I'm buying those, and I'm buying some other commodities. Uh, uh, all right, so that covers the economic. Oh, I think that the Europeans, the Scandinavians, Iceland, Finland, that they have very nice democratic traditions, and they're gonna grow economically, and kind of unshackle themselves using cryptocurrency. And I don't know about the future of the European Union. I think some form of it will survive, even if all these countries they just